Hello everyone and welcome back to my Dwarf Fortress Let's Play. We are still in the setting up utilities portion of this. Today I'm going to show you how to use Perfect World to generate just the kind of world that you want. If we go back to our Dwarf manual here, you can see, clicking on the Pre-Gen Worlds tab, there are a few pre-generated world things already included, and these are perfectly adequate. If you don't have any strong preference, you can pick any one of these. But what I'm going to do is customize this one to be something that's a little bit more my playstyle. After you have played the game a few times, you may find that you favor a particular type of biome, or you may just be interested in generating a map with some particular settings for that particular game you're going to play, just for something you want to try or something like that. So if we go ahead and start up Dwarf Fortress. And give me just a moment to get that going. Okay, so this is the startup screen. Now we want to go to Create New World Recommended. And this is going to pause for a little bit. I have something running in the background, so it's going to be a little bit longer for me. But then you're going to get this screen, which you can pretty much ignore. Now then, these ones with the names in the parentheses beside are the ones that come with the Masterwork mod. The other ones down here are the ones that come with the vanilla game. So we're going to take the mini biomes one. Going to press C for copy param set. C, not X. And then we're going to press T to enter a title, just to rename it. So we're going to call this, we'll just call it LP World. And then F6 to save the world params. And then we can go ahead and exit this. Now then click on the Perfect World thing right here. Oh, just before I go into that, click on the Utilities tab, scroll down to Perfect World. There's an included README, which covers pretty much everything I'm going to cover, including a pretty nifty quick start guide. If you want to skip this video and read it instead, or if you want to have that for a reference. Like I was saying, Perfect World. Now then, we want to go File, Import World Gen File. And that is going to go ahead, open our Dwarf Fortress folder again, copy that, and we will paste it into here. So this is under Data, Init, worldgen.txt. That is the file you want. And then here, click down, go down to our copy that we made. And all of these are things that this Perfect World tool can modify, or you can use the ones that are already included. We are using a copy of one of the ones provided for us because there are certain things that differ from vanilla, and I have not checked out what all the settings they need are. But this also gives us a good starting point. so we can change only the stuff we want to change and leave the rest of it alone, basically. So biome map, right now this is just going to be this, and it's pretty much just all mountains because nothing's been generated yet. This will change as we modify these other tabs. So elevation map. Right here, these are things you can change. That's sea level, that's high mountain area, and that's just kind of plain area. So you can click on either one of these 5 to adjust them, or any combination of that. Up here you have the percent below sea level, so this is 8% of the map is going to be below sea level. Percent below the tree line, so the part up here is going to be mountain area. And everything between is going to be between the sea level and the mountains. Pretty simple. So we can generate a new turbulence field. And that generates, let's see, I'm going to switch this to default zoom. That generates this little thing right here, which as you can see is mapped. These are going to be the mountains. That's the lower land and the sea level, the way we have it defaulted. What we can also do is generate a noise field, and that'll break that smooth lines up a little bit. And here we can control the weight of these two. You'll see this option on most of the following screens, but basically that is how much it takes the combined of these two to get this image. So if we turn this one off, put it the weight 0, it'll only use this one. Turn this one off and have this one positive, it'll only use this one. So if we want it to use like 50% of this and 50% of this, we would do it something like that. Let's zoom in a little bit more. If we wanted something that's kind of more straight, you can also take this and drag if you want to. I wanted something where the middle is kind of like that. And we can make this emphasize the C part. Or we can say make C's around the edges, something like that. That works. We could even make this all mountain so that we have kind of cusp area here, which is very similar to the map that we started with, but except for this part. Now then, this preview small oceans field, if you check that, you'll notice some of the water disappears, and this value right here controls that. Fill in oceans smaller than this number. So anything smaller than that's just going to get filled in when the map actually gets generated. If you want a lot of smaller water features, turn that further down. Now then, a rainfall map, the way this works is you pick a wind direction. The wind's going to blow in that direction. As it passes over water, it's going to pick up moisture. It's going to start dropping that moisture off until it hits a mountain area, and then the moisture is going to kind of pull up against the mountain and flow down, causing erosion along that mountain face. It will also, on the other side of the mountain, it's going to be a lot drier. So if we were to change this, well, we wanted that, and move you like further over, so we have lots of mountain right here. Then we can generate a rain shadow map. Give that a weight. And you can see, so, whoops, we forgot to. That is not, let's add a little bit more water. There we go. Not really enough water for this to actually get a lot. So see here, actually let's drain it from that top corner where there's more water. The shade of the green is how much water you get. So these are going to be very dry areas, a little bit drier than wetter areas. You can see right here, a lot of water is being pulled up because this is dark green. All the water is being pulled from this corner here and hitting this mountain and just rushing back down into this ocean here. We also have a noise map we can generate to randomize that a little bit. So that's a lot more diverse. We could completely ignore the mountains if we wanted to. Or we could do something in between. So say we have, let's do something like this. We still have kind of natural wet and dry areas, but it's spread out a little bit more. Drainage, well wait, we also have these things. So percent below desert level, 7% is going to be desert. Percent below forest level, everything up here, I think, is forest. Then this is the rest of the stuff. Percent below the grassland threshold, so grassland, and then I think there's swamps and deserts and stuff. So that's how one way that you can control biomes. Drainage map, these control mostly hills, rocky grass, and sand dunes or swamplands. So lowlands, kind of plains area, and hills. So this is more a finer tune of the elevation map based on drainage. So we can generate an elevation standard deviation map. Let's turn this all the way down for now. And what this does by default is you'll have hills around your mountains and lowlands in between your mountains there. And really lowlands, like right there, you can see slightly darker. We'll bump that up a little bit. There's going to be swamps and dunes if it's really dry, things like that. Right now we have this set to be very few hills. We could increase the amount of hills, decrease the amount of hills. Something like this will give us a fairly diverse biome. This is just controlling the quantity. And again, we also have a noise map we can generate. And that'll just break it up a little bit more. So if you wanted something, since this is a very diverse map, we'll keep it a little bit spread out. Volcanism. So let's go back to the biome map. So now you can see we're starting to get an image of what our map will look like. Mostly we have trees. That's what these are. There's a few other things like that might be swamp and that might be plains. I'm not familiar with this particular tile set that comes with this, but you get the general idea. So trees, all this mountains, rocky area around the mountains, stuff like that. The other maps are generally better at looking at it that way. So volcanism, I cannot pronounce that word. I've tried repeatedly. But this controls volcanoes and things like that. Note that right here it says that effects from volcanism and temperature maps are hard to predict and are not represented. So that's not going to show up on this. It's not going to show up until you actually generate the map in the game. So we can generate an elevation custom map, generate a noise field. We'll turn off the noise field. This, turn that on, basically controls what height. If you want your volcanoes at a particular height, you can adjust these two sliders so they only happen at that height. Right now, all the volcanism, man, I cannot pronounce that, is going to happen at very low altitudes. If we bring this one down, Bring that one down a little bit too. Quite a bit, I guess. Now we're starting to get, it's happening at two different heights. It's happening very low and very high. We can narrow that down a little bit more until we get, yeah. So now then we only have volcanoes at the tops of our very big mountains. That's one way to do it. Right here we have the percent below zero volcanism. Man, that's just a hard word. That's how much of the map is going to be green, not going to have any volcanism. Yeah. Just pretend I'm pronouncing that right. How much is not going to have any seismic volcano activity? That's the green part. Things with high volcano activity have a chance of spawning a volcano if you tell them to. I think it also affects temperature. So if you have quite a lot of volcano activity, you're going to have a very warm map. I believe. I'm not entirely certain about that. The igneous extrusive threshold. So the stuff above that, that's this slightly lighter green right around here. That is the type of stone that is made from dried up or lava that's been erupted on the surface of the ground. Well, technically, in Dwarf Fortress it doesn't distinguish between igneous extrusive and igneous intrusive, which is above ground and below ground. But this is basically dried up lava that's turned into stone. Think of Minecraft Basalt for the Red Power 2 mod. It's pretty much the same as that, but there's more different types of stone. The other, what's going to be left for the rest of the map is going to be the sedimentary layer. That's things made up from stuff decaying. So generally more dirt, more clays, more calcium and stuff based rock, and like limestone, things like that. What you want, or what is a popular option, is to have not much of this igneous extrusive layer, because the sedimentary layer contains generally better distribution of ores, particularly has more iron, even though you can have iron in the igneous extrusive layer. There's more of it in the sedimentary layer. So you probably want more sedimentary than the igneous extrusive stuff. Now then, if we turn on the noise, what we can do is we can get a whole bunch of little bitty dots of red around. We can actually completely turn off this so that we're ignoring the elevation, and just have a pretty much evenly distributed mass of dots. Smoothness controls the size of the dots. Since this is the smallest size map we can generate, going here, different sizes. Well, one of the smallest sizes. I guess it's technically a medium sized map. But these dots are going to get kind of merged into a single point when the smoothing effect happens. So you want them to be a little bit larger. You can also paint them manually if you wanted to with the cursor using the smoothing brush. But we want to have kind of big dots, and that'll give us a fairly even distributed amount of volcanoes, or possibility of volcanoes, I should say. We could actually even, well, this cannot be below or above this, I should say. So the higher amount of volcanoes, the higher amount of this stuff you're going to have. even though right now it seems to be stuck in that area. I'm not sure if that's right. It's generally going to be around your volcanoes, though. Is this being used at all? I don't think so. So that is that part. Savagery. The way this game divides regions, you can have a region that's good, neutral, or evil. Additionally, you can have low, medium, or high savagery. So you can have up to 9 combinations from low to high savagery and good to evil. So good low savagery, good medium savagery, good high savagery, neutral low savagery, neutral high or neutral medium savagery, neutral high savagery, etc., etc., etc. And these are named in the game, which we'll probably go over later. Those are, for evil, it's terrifying, sinister, and haunted. For neutral, it's calm, wilderness, and untamed wilds. Untamed wilds is the highest savagery. For good, it's serene, mirthful, and joyous wilds. Joyous wilds being the highest savagery. So what we want to do is generate a savagery gradient map. And that's, you can have different types of these, depending on what you want. And this is evil, the red. This is going to be the neutral. And this is going to be the good. Now then, dwarfs need neutral mountains to settle. Elves need good something, probably good forest or something like that to settle. Various evil races need different evil biomes to settle. I'm not sure particularly what the additional races in this mod need, but I'm pretty sure that goblins like to have something mountainy. I'm not sure if it needs to be mountainy or not, though. So I want to have kind of the center to be probably good-ish, some neutral, and then some evil to start off with. But then we're going to apply a noise filter to break it up just a little bit so that we can have some more veins. And actually you can also control the center of that. So you can move that around. Move the focus point of your gradient thing. Or we could just do something like that. Let's see, the mountains are more Savage East, Wild West on this side, so this would help our dwarfs a little bit, bump up the noise a little bit. And now we have kind of a map that's going to be evil merging into good with a lot of neutral in the middle. So this controls how many good, neutral, and evil. So good is from here, or yeah, this is evil actually. Evil's from here to here. Good is from here, or neutral is from here to here, and good is from here to here. Or that's actually technically savage, I think. I don't know. But yeah, something like that. So, we won't have this roughly 25% evil, 25% good, 50% neutral. That's okay. You can adjust these, but if you get either too little neutral, or too little evil, or too little good, you're going to have problems. The map won't be able to place good civs or whatever, and we won't be able to generate a map. So what we can do now is we'll go to the Map Parameters tab. This is a few things that aren't controlled by this. Year, for instance, keep that like it is. Mineral scarcity, 100 is kind of the maximum mineral scarcity. So you can leave that how it is. Most of this stuff you don't need to change. If we go down here, we have minimum mountain peaks and minimum number of volcanoes. This is actually the exact number, not the minimum number, even though it says that. It must have been that way previously or something. But since we want volcanoes, we're going to bump this up to, say, 25 or something like that. We don't really need peaks. So we'll put 0 of those. Well, we'll put 10 of them, just leave it how it was. Erosion cycle count. If we mouse over this, it tells us that it's already done some erosion, so we don't need to have this very high. By default, for a map this size, the erosion is 250. We can leave that 0. We can use a number. I'm going to leave it at 0. Minimum rivers start. I like rivers, so I'm going to bump this up quite a bit to the maximum, which is 800. And post-erosion. So how many rivers can be eroded away? I'll say only 100 of them. Let's see, is there anything else we need to change? Number of cavern layers, you really do not want to change any of this right now until you are more familiar with the game. So it's saying there needs to be 30 civilizations. Or it starts with 30 civilizations, I should say. You get a warning there, and that's something that could cause... That's why you need that particular percent of good and evil and stuff, because it's going to try to place a whole bunch of civilizations. Some of them are going to get wiped out, but that's okay. Now then, click Save Map Set. It'll give you a thing, so we'll do Let's Play Map. And I spelt that wrong, but that's okay. Then Export WorldGen file. You want to make sure you have Dwarf Fortress closed when you do this. Now then, go back, fire up Dwarf Fortress. Go back to the Create New World Recommended. And get the error message again. Then we'll go to the Let's Play World. You have that highlighted. Just press Enter. Actually, let's maximize this. And then we'll press Enter. So you can see these red things here are our volcanoes. And I think the stone might be dormant volcanoes. I'm not 100% on that. The reason you have chests and stuff here is, like I said, this tile set replaces characters with these images, and some characters do double duty. They mean something in the game, and they also show up on this map. So for instance, whatever character represents a cabinet in the game also represents what looks like a village. And these are towns or cities or something. These lighter colored things are peaks. There are different sizes of rivers. This is a Dwarven civilization. Roads. This is water, evil water, good water, frozen area. The purpley stuff, magenta stuff, is evil area. So there also there's grayish trees, reddish trees, that's also evil. The yellowy stuff and the very light, like fuchsia colored green, not fuchsia but fluorescent green, is good zones. That's where your elves are going to be. And I think that covers most of the major features. Blue is also good. this kind of dark blue here. So we can, now that it's finished generating, press enter to accept. Okay, so that's going to be it for this episode. Next time we will cover how to pick an embarkation site and various things you want to look for that. So like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Dwarf Fortress.